Is there anybody there?
And so it kind of turned into she was basically buying the exact same hat in like three different ways,
Yeah.
just to try to please everybody. And it's actually worked out in our favor because sales on hats have gone up because people want those options.
What's up, Dad Hat Crew, and welcome to my part 2 of my conversation with Big Matt of the Columbus Clippers. In this episode, we go into what he thinks are some of the best ways to really increase the popularity of the game, some of the rules that have already been implemented, what are his favorites, some of the things that he would change, and then also we talked about some of the hats. Yes, we do. We talk hats, guys. We really do. And some of the things that the Columbus Clippers really do in order to really listen to their fan base, right? What's popular to them, Dad Hat, FlexFit, and even the on-field hat. So pretty cool stuff. And then finally, we ended with something that he designed, very popular, near and dear to his heart. And then I honestly think it's very cool. So you guys got to listen to the full interview, which is also at the bottom of the end. And then finally, we get into my famous, not so famous questions. So, guys, without further ado, I give you the episode. Yeah, so, Yandy Diaz, right? And then you said Urshela, right? These guys,
Yup.
like you grew up while watching them and all that. Tyler Naquin. I still root for those guys, no matter what.
Absolutely. Bobby Bradley's playing indie ball right now, and I still
Right?
believe he can make a comeback. Like
Yeah, he's
Nolan,
with the Dirty Birds.
yeah. Nolan Jones just been a highlight machine since getting called up to Colorado. Uh, Will Benson hitting that walk off for Cincinnati. Well, Cincinnati is so much fun to watch right now. And I'm not trying
Good.
to. I'm not trying to take anything away from my guards. I'm a full fledged guards fan, but any team in Ohio, I have the right to root for.
Absolutely.
And along with the same kind of in the same breath of college football is better when Notre Dame is good. Like it's better
When Cincinnati
when
and Cleveland
Cincinnati
both are
is a
good.
good baseball team because it's a great baseball city. And it's just like, God, the owner would just shut his mouth like he's going to start selling out every single game. Like, and again, I'm not I'm not telling anybody to shut their mouth. It's just like stop working against yourself.
Yep.
Like
100%.
just let people are gonna come, man. Like you just have to put an exciting product out on the field. And Ellie De La Cruz is the most exciting player in baseball.
Bro,
And he was before he even stepped foot on a big league field. He kind of has this Tim Anderson swagger that I love. And I look at Tim Anderson from Chicago as kind of being a guy who would be a perfect example of how I want the game to be played.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of all the old BS, unwritten rules stuff. I want bat flips. I want people celebrating. I want pitchers cursing.
You don't want to
into
get
their
a bat flip
glove.
from me? Strike me out.
Exactly. You made a mistake. Now watch me flip my bat.
Yeah.
That's on you. That's on you, buddy.
100.
It's just, it's a game, guys.
Yeah.
You're playing a game. You're making millions to play a child's game.
Yeah.
So have fun.
Yeah. De La Cruz also reminds me
just
of
have
that.
fun.
What was that one guy who he just got injured for Pittsburgh?
O'Neal Cruz.
O'Neal Cruz, another one.
He's another guy. Yeah, he's another guy. He let the personalities run, man. Just let them roll.
Yeah.
And I keep saying it. And I tweeted a lot, and I feel like people might take it as me taking a dig towards Cleveland, but it's just an overall thing. I tweet a lot. Just let the kids play.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying call up everybody that's in Columbus to Cleveland. I'm just talking overall in baseball. Let the kids play, because these kids, like, who's the best player in baseball right now? Mike Trout. Is going to go down as but Trout's going to go down as one of the all-time greats.
Sure. Yeah.
How much do we hear about him on the East Coast, man? Like, maybe a playoff run would really show the rest of the country what he's all about. Shohei comes with enough has come with enough hype that pretty much everybody already knows him.
Right.
With
Yep.
and so it's like the Mike Trout. We should see Mike Trout everywhere that we see LeBron James. Like market
Yeah, yeah,
your stars.
yeah. I mean, because that's the thing. Like, I mean, that's the one thing that really my issue with baseball. One of my many issues, but the whole like like this is a regional sport. It really isn't. Like it shouldn't be a regional sport. It's a national sport, right? Let's treat it as such. And if we do, things will be so much better, right? Like, I mean, we can be able to highlight these players that you see nowadays, the O'Neal Cruz, the Ramirez, and all these players, Tim Anderson, right? Like, I mean, each
Well, you
team
got to
has
argue. You got to argue that Jose Ramirez is being kind of
yeah,
kind of bubbled just being in Cleveland.
yeah,
He should be a much bigger name than he is. And it's like, well, Cleveland fans at least respect him and love him and appreciate him for staying. But it's along the same lines. Like, make your stars bigger stars. You're only going to bring more eyes to the game. Get rid of blackouts. What?
oh dude, don't get me started with
The
that.
I mean, I can only imagine you understand not having a professional team. I wasn't even aware of it until all the stuff came out about the Field of Dreams game out in Iowa, and I was like, "Yeah, this is the only time we get to watch any professional baseball,
Yep,
any Major League Baseball
they're a
this year."
black
And
hole.
it's insane.
They're a black
It's
hole. There's so many
absolutely
teams.
insane.
Yeah, there's so many teams that they cannot watch. Like here, if Cleveland is playing Baltimore, blacked out. Can't watch it. Nationals can't watch it. Right? So it's like you can't watch my I cannot watch my team even though I'm in North Carolina because they're playing in Baltimore, because they're playing, or some other team. I can't
Because
watch
it's
it
within
because
driving distance.
yeah,
Give me a break. Like
yep, yep.
that's what I mean when I say stop working against yourself.
Wow, yes, 100%.
Take the money that you get for and
Well,
again,
they
like
still got to figure out
I'm not
they still got to figure out their TV's whole situation because of Bally's,
for all the RSNs. Yeah, the good call choosing Bally's. That was a stable company. Um,
Well, Bally Sports kind of shot themselves in the foot when they took away they took it away from Hulu and YouTube and all the streaming, and they says like, no, we're going to create our own streaming service, which it didn't work out.
which I've tried
Yeah,
to use once, and I'm not going to use it again. Um,
yeah,
I just doing all these things to go against yourself, like you said, shooting yourself in the foot. It's almost like they continuously shoot in the same exact spot to continue to have the same exact wound so that they can continue to make the same dumbass
yep,
decisions.
mm-hmm,
And I don't know if I get in trouble for saying this, but put people in charge of baseball who love the game of baseball. Why are there so many people? It's like WCW in the late 90s when Ted Turner was just putting his friends in charge, people who had no idea how to run wrestling, and that company just got run straight into the shitter. Like, put people who love the game in charge. Have them be the ones making the rules. Have them be the ones making the decisions, because
yeah,
you got a bunch of lawyers that are just there for 6 and 7 figure paychecks, and it's like they don't care. That's my biggest argument about MLB taking over minor league baseball.
yeah,
Is minor league baseball used to be its own umbrella.
mm-hmm,
And minor league baseball, we had our individual leagues. The international league here in town used to have an office here in Columbus. That was our umbrella. Now we're under this big MLB umbrella where we're only just one small sliver of it. And we get stuck with people that, oh, well, it's not Major League Baseball. They're not making millions upon millions upon millions. Like they're only a fraction of our budget. Why should we put this much effort into it? Then why did you buy us? Why did you take it over?
mm-hmm.
Over 100 years, this thing was running just fine.
They're trying to streamline it, they say. Although their app right now, don't get me started on the app for minor league baseball and watching a game there.
You can't.
Yeah.
You have to pick your favorite team and only watch their affiliates on MLB TV.
Which I'm doing.
It's the only way that I found to work.
Yep. And then there's no Apple TV, app for minor league baseball, so I can't watch any of those games because it's not allowing me to do so.
Now, this is the first year I've been able to use a smart TV app for my phone or for my TV, and it's on the MLB app. You can stream through that, which I will admit has been nice, as opposed to trying to do like screen mirroring from my iPad to my TV and stuff, and then trying to time everything up, because the radio broadcast is never on this. If I'm listening to the road, if we're on the road and I'm trying to listen to our radio broadcast and watch the game, they never match up, and it's just like,
Yep. Yeah.
I apologize for my umbrella rant. That's
that's all right. We all have our rants. We gotta live with them, though. You know what I mean? So it's like,
and I don't want to sound like I'm not grateful to be doing what I'm doing. I'm extremely thankful to not be sitting in a cubicle working in an office for 10 hours a day with no windows and this, that, and the other. Like, I get to work in professional baseball. Like, outside my office is a professional baseball field. Like, that's pretty gnarly. My problem is much like I view this country, I see it for what it could be and how great it could be. And no, I'm not saying make America great again. I'm completely no, that was just a bad choice of words. I'm sorry. I do love America, just like I love the game of baseball. And things have to evolve. Things have to grow. I don't like the new rules in baseball. I'm not necessarily against. The only one that I don't necessarily like on the big league level of the new rules is the runner on second base.
Everybody says the same thing. It's like they don't mind the pitch clock, they don't mind the bases, they don't mind a lot of the stuff. The one that they mind is the runner on second.
Now, I love it on the minor league level, because the minor leagues, we're not set up to do 14, 15, 16 innings. Like, you're going to get 5 innings of position players pitching until somebody actually scores. We're not set up for that. So it makes sense.
Okay.
It absolutely makes sense for it in the minor league level. But on the big league level, sorry, I want to see a 20-inning game. I'm not working it, so I'm not miserable sitting like, why isn't this game over yet? I'm like, no, this is awesome. Play longer. Somebody score. Okay, now the other team score. Let's go.
So the way I look at it is, okay, fine. You know, a lot of people, and it's probably going to have to be tweaked out a little bit, the runner on second, right? But what happens? Let's just play, 9, 10 innings. Right, you play, after the 10th inning, then you go into the 11th inning, put the runner on first base. If it doesn't work out for 2 innings, then at that point put that runner on second. That way, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I actually really like that concept. In my head, I was thinking, maybe wait till like the 13th inning and throw the runner on second, but putting the runner on first, I'm not necessarily against. So I mean, that still gives you it still gives you a chance to really strategize, but on both sides. Because you look at it, you're going into extra innings. It used to be, okay, every player's going up trying to leave the yard. Now, get them on, get them over, get them in.
Yep.
Now there's a runner on second, nobody out. All right, let's punt them over. All we need is fly ball. And then the runner scores, and we've got a lead.
And it gives the advantage to the home team.
Oh yeah, because
in my opinion,
it's like going second in Family Feud. Like you know what's not going to work.
Yeah,
you know how many points you have and how many points you got to get. It's a lot easier than just going and yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You're right. No, that's my one thing about the rules. Let's just tweak it a little bit, that runner on second. But everything else, I'm not against it. Now, let me ask you this, because obviously you work for the team and you're there. How has the pace of the game affected you guys at all? has that affected the way that you guys are running the business now? You know, from opening the gates perhaps a little earlier to, you know, beer later in the game.
So it has been tossed around, the idea of selling beer a little bit later, just simply because we're going from what used to be 3.5 hour average down
Correct.
to 2.5 hour average.
Correct.
So yeah, there is less time, and it would make sense to open the ballpark a little bit earlier. But then therein lies the fact that then you've got every single person has to get an extra half hour on their paycheck. And how many of those people are actually going to come early? Because again,
True.
it's
True.
minor league baseball. They generally aren't getting here till the middle of the first, second inning, anyways. Um, on a personal side, the quicker games are better for everybody that works them, just
So,
because.
yep.
I mean, like I'll look at our freelancing crew, like our camera crew and stuff. Their call time is 2 hours before the game, no matter what. So they have that 2 hours to set everything up, have a production meeting, get some food, and then get to their spots 15 minutes before the game starts. Once they're out there, I want them in as quickly as possible. Not that they're in any trouble or any
Yeah. Yeah.
danger or
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
like that. I just
Yeah.
mean, like,
Yeah.
most of our games, it's over 90 degrees. I would like to get our people back in as soon as possible and get them sent home and get them back up into air conditioning and stuff.
Okay.
As a fan, not really for it. Like I talked earlier about, paying your own money to see something. I'm the type of the guy that, like, I can go, if I go, I'll go to any type of sporting event. They could be getting blown out either side. I'm not
I'm not
leaving until
leaving.
the horn sounds, because
Yeah.
I paid for this ticket. Well, do you want to beat traffic? No, I want to watch the event I paid for.
Right.
And and so as a fan, I'm not saying I'm against it, but I also am not saying I'm not against spending an extra half hour to an hour at the ballpark when I actually
Hmm.
go as a fan, because it's a special experience. It can be a
Correct.
ballpark I've been to 100 times. It's still a special experience.
Hey man, like you said though, it beats going into a, a cubicle, go to work.
Understatement. Absolutely.
So there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, my friend. Nothing wrong with that at all. That's a beautiful thing. So good for you. All right. A couple more things, and then obviously, I think the Clippers has one of those brands out there that is everybody knows, right? Like, I mean, everybody knows. Like, it used to be an affiliate of the Yankees, but now Cleveland. But does your and I'll give you guys credit for this because it's, as a dad hat collector, one of the very few teams that that I see that are, you guys are knocking out of the ballpark when it comes to merchandising, is because you guys not only do have like the ones that you're wearing, a fitted hat, but you guys have a large array of like different kinds of merchandise for everybody. Like, do you
That
that's all, that takes a lot of work, man.
well, all you have to do is really listen to what the people are saying.
Hmm.
And we didn't have a large, we had options, but we didn't have a large selection of dad hats 5, 6, 7 years ago. I don't believe.
Nope.
Um, because the new era, that was what was hot, the fitteds.
Yep.
Like, everybody wanted the on field, and it was that way for a hot minute. And
Hmm.
then these kind of started making their comeback. Because I mean, I remember back in the day having the old school South Carolina Cox, the white hat, the
Yeah.
adjustable one. Like, that's what we had when I was growing up. And so seeing that style kind of come back and then just kind of take off on its own, and I mean, obviously your account brought it to my attention. And it I personally, I'm still a new era guy, but I got a big ass dome, so the new eras just fit me better. Plus I'm bald, so I don't like showing off the whole, like, back of my bald head. But hey, listen, it's beautiful. It never goes out of style.
It does.
Um,
Hey, listen, it's a beautiful thing. Bold is beautiful, brother.
huh. And but I think that our merch director, Krista, she does a fantastic job of really listening to what the people are asking for.
Mhm.
And so often we would post a new on-field hat, and we'd get 20 comments. Is there going to be a flex fit? Is there going to be a dad hat? It's going to be an adjustable, blah blah blah. And so it kind of turned into she was basically buying the exact same hat in like 3 different ways,
Yeah.
just to try to please everybody. And it's actually worked out in our favor because sales on hats have gone up because people want those options. Me, just give me the on-field style. I'm cool with that. I know what fits my head. Other people like yourself prefer that good curved brim and sit right down, and like
Yes,
I
sir.
get that. I get that because I was that back in the day. Now I have to wear glasses, so the whole I don't flat bill it. It's the on yeah it's the on field bend, but
Yeah.
that's about as far as I can go as far as getting that wonderful bend
I
bill
find
bend.
that with 47, it's a little hard to wear glasses. The new era 920s is a little bit easier to wear glasses with those. So see, there's still those are 920s considered dad hats. So I use those as well.
Noted. Definitely noted.
Just keep an eye out for that, my friend. Just letting you know.
So we
Because
learn something every podcast we go on.
that's right. And that's what it is. Like for me, like I got to look at all of that, and I love the fact that you guys, and I know that Krista works with the merchandise manager down here in Durham for the
Hmm.
Bulls. Like,
Yeah, I don't know how close they actually are, but I know that they talk all the time.
yep,
Um, Between those two and then Toledo, I mean, those are kind of the 3 iconic brands.
yes,
In
yes,
at least in AAA. And I mean, Mud Hens had Mashed, Durham had Bull Durham, obviously.
yep,
And we just kind of became famous in the '90s with, you know, all the baby bombers coming up.
yep.
And
Jeter,
it was during that
Posada.
time, Jeter, Posada, Pettit, um, Mariano Rivera, Deion
Yeah,
Sanders spent some time here. And I was actually, I didn't grow up in Columbus. I grew up in the Toledo area. So I was a Mudheads fan growing up. So one of my earliest memories is of Norm Charlton playing for the Clippers, handing me a baseball as they were walking with the fans, because that's how Ned Skelton Stadium was in Toledo. Under the first base bleachers, they'd walk through a tunnel, and then they're out on a concourse with all the fans as they walk to their clubhouse. And it's just like,
yeah.
whoo, I feel like some bad stuff probably could have happened several times in those instances. But I don't know. I was a kid, so I didn't really
Yeah.
that's not what I was thinking about at the time.
Yeah, you're just thinking
But
that you got a baseball.
exactly. That's the first baseball that I remember ever being given to me by a baseball player,
That's
Norm Charlton.
awesome.
And that's another thing about what's so cool about what we get to do at our level.
Accessibility.
It could be the first time a kid's ever been to a professional baseball game. It could be, I there's no way of knowing, but you hope that you're creating new baseball fans every year. Like you hope you're just that the stuff and all the hard work
Yep.
and sweat that you put into a season, you hope to be building a game. Like, yes, our ultimate goal is to sell tickets. My ultimate goal personally is I want more baseball fans.
100%. You got to, in order for the sport to survive, you got to have more fans.
Mm-hmm.
So why not? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, keep up the good work. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're up at that part. Have I not asked anything, my friend, anything at all? This is your time to talk, because then we're about to go into the very hard part of the episode, which is my famous, not so famous questions.
Oh, well, I will do one little shameless plug.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I forgot about
This
that.
so this is our new Copa. Our Copa identity is the Veleros de Columbus, which unfortunately there is not a clipper ship translation in Spanish. So Veleros means sailboat. It's the closest we could come to. So this is the sailboats of Columbus. This this is our new Veleros on-field alternate, and this is a hat that I designed.
You do. So it's like blue brim, the front,
Yep, we've got
black, front.
we've got the aqua front with a white front, and then an Expo style with going tricolor,
Yes.
and then with the aqua eyelets and the multicolored in the back. Now designed probably 7 or 8 different hats, and then we put them to a vote with our staff.
Mhm.
But this is the one that won, and it's really cool to hear what some of the players have said about like how much they really like it and how much they like wearing it and stuff. And so my shameless plug is buy this hat so we sell out, so we have to order more.
I like it. That's a beautiful hat too. If they would have had it in a dad hat.
Clippersbaseball.com.
That's right. And then I will make sure to put the website and everything so you guys can go on and get your own hat there, because they got some cool ones, especially some dad hats, guys. They got 7 pages full of dad hats, and I love it. It's great.
We do. We've got a lot.
Yeah, you do. You do. Like I said, Toledo, you guys, and Durham, you guys are killing the game when it comes to those specific hats. So, congratulations to you guys. You guys are doing an amazing job. All right, my friend, are you ready?
Hit me.
All right, here we go. The first question that I ask everybody is very simple. You go to the game as a fan, right? What is your food and your drink of choice?
See, I will do multiple rounds.
Okay.
Anytime I go, especially if it's a first time of being at a ballpark.
Mhm.
But the first thing I'll do when I get in is I'll just get your plainest hot dog and just a small soda,
Okay.
because I want to see what you're working with the basics and the bare
Yeah.
minimum. Then I'll take a lap if you're able to take a concourse lap, and then during that lap I'll start picking out like, okay, I want to hit this place in the third, I want to try to hit this place in the seventh, and I want to hopefully grab this as I'm walking out of the ballpark. So I'm not the type that will look that stuff up early, because I like to just whatever kind of
You're feeling
makes it whatever my big belly is like. It's like we're gonna trust Gibbs's gut, and it's gonna be like, okay, we're gonna go with that one, and we're gonna go with that one, and very rarely have I been disappointed.
I love it. How many ballparks have you been to?
Oh goodness. Major league probably 10 to 12. Minor league probably around 20, give or take.
Okay. It's a good number. I like it. Good for you, man. I'm working on my way there to get more ballparks. But the ballparks that I've been to, it has been one of them has been Huntington.
Those are the like bucket list things. Like I would love to just spend once I retire and I'm not announcing anymore, just get an RV and just go across the country and get as many, either do a specific major league, then a specific minor league tour separately.
Yeah.
Or let's get as many games as possible in, and let's just go around and let's just take it all in.
I like it. That's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. All right, here we go. What was your favorite Halloween costume?
Favorite Halloween costume? When I was 4 years old, and I hated it when I was 4 years old, but I love it now. Looking back at the pictures, was I was a clown, and the only reason that I love it so much is now looking back, I realized that my grandma hand sewn my entire costume.
No
and
way.
So like, including the wig, and so it's like, all right, now I look back and it's like, you know what? I was happy to be a clown. There are a couple of Hulk Hogan years in there too that my mom got tired of buying the shirt because I would always rip it.
Rip it.
But yeah, definitely the clown from when I was 4.
I like it. All right, strangest thing you've ever eaten?
I'm from a town of 1,100 people in the middle of nowhere, Ohio, and I think I think at one point I could say sushi, just because
Mm-hmm.
that's not something you really think about coming from a little redneck hole in the ground. But now it's something that I eat all the time. So
I love
I don't
sushi.
really. I love sushi rolls so much. I guess something like this. The sashimis
Yeah.
can kind of fit into there, because I never thought I would actually eat like the raw fish itself.
Yeah.
Like when it's wrapped in rice, you're like, I can kind of think elsewhere about it, but no, I love sushi. The the Fruit Loop hot dog up in Cleveland, I guess you could probably put on there, was probably a little bit strange, but
But it's good.
wasn't bad. Wasn't
Don't
bad.
hate it. I don't hate it. All right. Last movie you saw.
I'm gonna go get another one.
I'll be right back.
Oh, let's see. Are we talking in theaters or just overall?
Overall.
Let's see. I gotta think because I've been on an NCIS binge lately. Yeah, completely random. Yeah, I don't like any of those kind of crime shows. I don't like any of those military shows or anything. But something about NCIS, I just love that TV show. But I want to say the last movie that I believe I watched, sat down and watched all the way through. My mom was down. I think it was in like February, and she had never seen Pirate Radio.
Oh wow.
And I was like, oh, this is all the music that you grew up in. Like we should watch this. She's like, okay. And then she's just sitting there tapping her toes and singing along there. Because I mean, obviously it's a song about a pirate radio ship that's broadcasting rock and roll in the 60s into the UK because it was banned on local radio stations. So it's like she's just sitting here loving life. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, yeah, this was a good choice. So Pirate Radio is one of my top 5 favorite movies just because radio was my original route, was what I was planning on doing. And then
same here.
all of a sudden they heard me read copy and they're like, you should do voiceover. And I'm like, oh, okay. There's still a part of me that wants to do radio, but
dude, that's why I started this podcast, because I almost went into go school for radio. I almost did it. And
the funny thing is I've been making the face for radio jokes since I was like 14, way before I had any idea that I was eventually going to go into it. So Al, you just make that joke because you studied radio. Actually, no, I heard it once and never let it
go. I love it. All right, here we go. What color is your toothbrush?
Pink.
Like, nice.
I'm a pink kind of a guy. I will wear pink as often as I can, which
good man.
Honestly isn't as often as I'd like, but I've got like 3 pairs of pink Jordans because it's just like I'm a monster and people see me wear pink and it just confuses them. And I don't know, I like confusing people from time to time.
That's amazing. That's awesome. I love it.
Why is that dude wearing pink shoes? Go ask him. No.
Nope, not gonna say. Nope. That's a big guy. I'm not gonna ask. Okay, cake or pie?
Pie.
Oh, pie was good. Which pie?
Apple.
Good man. Good man.
Classic. Just a classic apple pie kind of guy.
There you go. Okay, last one. Here's a question: is it wrong for a vegetarian to eat an animal cracker?
Man. I feel like I asked that of somebody when I was like 7 years old, and I've only ever asked that. I've never answered it myself. So I'm gonna say, you know what? It's kind of like drinking an NA beer. That's as close as you're gonna get. So by all means, eat your animal.
You have had it.
No judging here. You just want a beer but no alcohol in it. That's fine.
Athletic Brewing.
You want to eat animal with no animal in it. That's fine too.
Go for it.
You do you, boo boo.
You do you, boo boo. Oh, my friend, thank you, Matt. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for doing this. We'll have you back on because man, we're having too much fun with this.
No, I'll see. I'll make sure that I have the proper head attire next time.
There you go. I like it. We'll do that. My friend, take care and good luck to the Clippers here in the second half coming up soon.
Yep. Yeah, second half. Half's triple A.
I know, right? How weird does that sound?
Let's end on that. Just,
let's do that. Take care, guys.
Big thanks to Big Matt for coming on the podcast. I had a ton of fun on this one. And make sure you guys are following him on Instagram, following the team, okay? Go on their website, write me out, and go get yourself a dad hat. That's right, I said that. And then make sure you guys are following me. I am on Instagram, on Twitter, or is it X? I don't know. I still call it Twitter. Threads. I'm also on YouTube, so go ahead and give it a follow, okay? Give it 5 stars also while you're at it. But let's go ahead and end this episode the right way, with a dad joke. And here it is. Why did the rabbits go on strike? They wanted better celery. All right. I'll see myself out. And until then, guys, keep on grinding. Keep those positive vibes going and support the minor leagues.